Good morning, guys. I'm so sorry. I know it's kind of late, but we're here and we're gonna start. Remember, guys, that I told you that this week was a review week, which means that today we're gonna be having the review of the unit 7. And then next class, which is on Thursday, we're gonna have the exam, okay? The exam is, yes.
Le quería comentar, ya ve que la clase pasada le dije que mi internet estaba fallando y me pidió justificante y así, o sea, porque me sacó de la clase. Y le comenté al coordinador y me dijo que iba a ver porque no podía haber tantos justificantes para una sola clase. Entonces por eso no le mandó justificante, porque pues como fuimos varios los que no estábamos.
Sí, me comentaron. Ajá, sí me comentó Felipe que se habían quejado. Nada más les comento y les recuerdo que yo les comenté también en el syllabus que si no me respondían y les hablaba más de 3 veces, pues ya los iba a sacar de la sesión, ¿ok? Okay, we're gonna start with the class. And as I was saying, we're gonna have the review for the unit 7. And on Thursday, we're gonna have the exam. So it means that next class, we're not gonna have the class. We're just gonna do the exam. I'm gonna share with you the code for the quizzes. It means that you must have downloaded the application of quizzes, or you can do it like in your web, in like, for example, in your computer, you can like getting in quizzes, you don't need to download it to your cell phone. If you want to do it in your cell phone, feel free to do it. The only thing I'm asking you is to have ready the quizzes app or website, okay? Well, we are going to start then, and I'm going to share. What are we going to be doing? So it's just reviewing and the unit 7, we're going to be working with the grammar and the vocabulary we work with during the unit 7. So we're going to start with the first topic. During this unit, we saw the comparative and superlatives, and then how to give directions. So we are going to start with the first one, and I'm going to ask you guys to please have as evidence every single activity we answer, okay? So if we are going to answer one activity, you must have it as evidence because you will upload it. This presentation, I will share it with you in classroom, but it doesn't mean that you need to wait. I mean, I need you to do it because we're gonna be reviewing your answers in that, okay? Okay, so the first one, let's just review the grammar of the comparative adjectives. So the comparative adjectives are these adjectives that it says in here to compare things and people. Most of the time, or it's very often or common to add the word than to make the comparison. For example, my sister's taller than me. A restaurant is quieter than a club. Okay, so how am I going to change the adjective? For example, if it is one syllable adjective, such as in cold, I'm going to change it in comparative to colder. So the rule says that I'm going to add the ER ending after the adjective, right? Cold, colder. Quiet, quieter. Some two-syllable adjectives will apply the same rule that are going to be, I mean, it doesn't have to be only one syllable adjectives. It could be also those two-syllable adjectives, and there are exemptions. For example, quiet, quieter, but it could also be more quiet. Adjectives ending in E, for example, large, I'm not gonna add the E again. I'm just gonna add the R. Large, larger. Ending in Y, for example, noisy, it will be noisier. I'm gonna drop the Y and add IER. And then consonant vowel consonant, such as in hot, H consonant, O vowel, T consonant, hot. I'm gonna double the last consonant and hotter. But this is also for the one syllable adjectives. I mean, if it is a short adjective and it applies this rule, then you're gonna double it. Many two syllable adjectives or all longer adjectives, such as in boring, expensive, handsome, beautiful, entertaining, interesting, etc. We're gonna add a word more before the adjective. So I'm not gonna change anything in the verb. I'm just gonna add the word more before it. More boring, more expensive, more interesting, more handsome, etc. And then we have the irregular adjectives. Those are the adjectives that will change its form different. I mean, not using a rule, such as in good, better, bad, worse, far, further, and farther. This thing of the comparatives applies for the adverbs also and for the adjectives, but we are focusing and working only with the adjectives, okay? So for example, what is the opposite of more? If I say it's more boring, more expensive, so then the opposite will be less. Less boring, less expensive. And remember, this is comparative. It helps me to compare, as the word says, comparative, to compare between two things, two people, two places. For example, I don't know, what can I say? Just to give you an example, let's use colder. My city is colder than yours. As I said before, we can use than or we can't. I mean, it is not a must that we have to use than in every single sentence. Sometimes it is implicit. I mean, I can understand what you're saying or what you're comparing it to. I can say, for example, do you think that today is colder? If you say today is colder, sorry, it means that you are comparing today's the weather of today with the weather of probably yesterday or last week, and I don't actually need to be like really specific. So it depends on what you're talking about. Okay, so this is something that we already saw in another class. Now we're gonna go and practice, okay? So I'm gonna do here we have an example, and I'm gonna do the second one with you, and the rest you're gonna do it by your own, okay? So it says, find and correct the mistakes in the sentences. Okay, so what do we have to consider here? Okay, for example, the first one, Hondas are popular than Suzukis. If I am comparing one thing to the other, I need one, to change the adjective or to add a word before the adjective, depending if it is a long or short adjective or whatever, right? So according to the rules I showed you before in the previous presentation, in the previous slide, so it says Hondas are popular than Suzuki. So if I am comparing Hondas with Suzuki, so then it means that I have to add the comparative adjective or the comparative form that makes it a comparative adjective. And in this case, is Hondas are more popular than Suzuki's. Okay, in all of these examples, we're using than, but it's okay. I mean, as I said before, you can skip it, but in these sentences, we have it. So we're gonna practice with them, okay? Number two, Nicole, can you help me? It says, South Africa's hotter than Italy. If I say it out loud, to be honest, I don't see the mistake. I can understand what is a mistake because if I read it, it is correct. But what happens if I read it? Read the sentence and tell me what is a mistake. Can you identify it?
Then?
No, then is good because you're comparing Africa with Italy, but what is a mistake? It is a spelling mistake. Does anybody identify the mistake?
Yes.
Where?
The apostrophe.
The apostrophe, not really, because the apostrophe is a contracted form of is. South Africa's is like, it is like it will be South Africa is. It's contracted.
Hotter? Maybe
Hotter.
double T?
Double T, yes, very good. So the mistake in this sentence is hotter. You can do it like this. I'm gonna give you two options because we have, to be honest, we have many exercises for today. We're gonna be answering them in class. I mean, it's not that it's gonna be for homework. We're gonna do it all together here. But I need you to do it by your own first here in class, and then we're gonna check the answer. So that's why we're gonna try to do it fast, okay? So you can just write the part you're correcting, or you can rewrite the sentence, up to you. So it means that I'm gonna give you some minutes for you to do from 3 to 8 individually, and then we're gonna come and share your answers, okay? So during this time I'm giving you, I wanted to answer them by your own, and then I'm gonna be asking randomly to give me the correct answer, or what is a mistake in the sentence, okay? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's say, I don't know, you tell me when you're ready, okay? I'll be here. Remember, you don't need to write all of the sentence. You just need to write the part you're correcting.
Good morning, teacher. Se me olvidó decirle que me había conectado un poquito despuesito.
Good morning. I haven't taken attendance, don't worry.
All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Evelyn, help me with number 3, please. Can you read it and then tell me what is a mistake?
Yes. I'm more old than my brother. El mistake es old. Yo puse I'm older than my brother.
Very good.
Well, I am more older than my brother.
I'm older. So then the mistake is that it should be just older, right? Very good. Number 4, Shara, can you help me? Can you read it and then tell me the incorrect part, please?
Yeah. Sería en la 4, ¿verdad?
Yes, number 4.
Indian food spicer sería. It's more spicy sería, ¿que no?
Okay.
Eso.
So what is
No.
that? But how would you write it? Can you write? Are you in a computer?
No,
¿Estás en computadora?
creo que sí. Escribo.
Ajá, please.
¿Cómo se hace esto?
¿En dónde está anotar? Estamos en
ya. Sí.
Ok.
Text. Pongo la otra manera, sería spicy. It's more spicy, ¿no? ¿No?
Sí, escríbelo. Please.
It's more spicy. ¿Algo así?
I don't get to see it, no lo veo.
No se puso.
Creo que
Sí,
tienes
¿cómo?
que hacerle
Ahí está.
clic. Ahí está.
Ya. Se movió.
It's more spicy. Ok, aquí aplicaría, just as I told you before with the one of quiet. No sé si se acuerdan que les dije que con quiet podía ser quieter or more quiet. Sería spicier también, pero sin la Y. O sea,
Okay.
no sería con Y, sería spicier. Ok,
Que aquí puse esta respuesta. Igual está bien, no te la podemos dejar así.
sí, ajá. Gracie, number 5. Can you help me with it, please?
Yes. Lina is more intelligent than me.
Okay, so the mistake is?
More intelligenter, que dice aquí es more intelligent.
Ajá. Will you write it or do you want me to write it?
No, estoy en el teléfono.
Okay. So then it's more intelligent. Very good. Number 6, René, please. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, dice cola is sweeter than lemonade. Sería sweeter, pero sin la T, sin una T.
Okay. ¿Estás are you in cell phone or in computer?
Estoy en el celular, perdón.
Okay. Ya me van a decir eso todos. Okay. Peter.
Perdón.
Number 7, Héctor, please.
¿Me escucho?
Yes. First, read it, please.
Cheese is more difficult than English.
Can you read it out loud, please?
No sé, la verdad. A ver.
¿Puedes leerlo, please? Can you read it out loud?
Chinense is more difficult than English.
Okay. So basically, here we have more difficult is correct. So then it means that the mistake is not in the comparative form. Well, at least not with the adjective. Read the sentence or check the sentence word by word and tell me what is different from the previous sentences we have corrected.
Chinese.
No, Chinese is
No.
good. Read it word by word. Karime,
Oh,
Arturo.
L-R. Difficult.
No, difficult is 3 syllables. So then it means that it's a long adjective. I need to add more before the adjective, so it's good. What is a mistake? Check it, please. It's simpler.
That.
That,
Okay.
yes. So how should it be, Hector?
And
Then, very good. It is not that, it's then. Okay, Wilfrido, number 8. Can you read it, please? Wilfrido.
Teacher, es que está haciendo un
Wilfredo
café en su
está
trabajo.
trabajando.
Ajá.
Ajá.
Le voy a enviar mensaje para ver si estás ocupado.
Okay, Arturo, help me then, number 8.
Chips are butter from your then fries.
Okay, tell me what is wrong.
Le falta el more. No?
I'm just gonna tell you one hint. Bother, or well, bother comes from bad. Bad is an irregular adjective. So irregular adjectives change different. So,
Entonces no es bad.
Es worse.
Worse. So it is worse. Chips are worse for you than fries. Okay, good.
espérame, profe, verá. Ya voy a terminar.
Okay, just to let you know, you were supposed to finish this before now, right? Because now we're just checking the answers. So make sure you finish your answers before we check them.
Teacher, yo tengo una pregunta.
Yeah.
¿Esto está en el libro que compramos desde un principio o está en el nuevo?
¿Cuántas unidades tiene en tu libro?
Es que la otra vez ando buscando unas actividades y no las encontré aquí.
¿Hasta qué unidad llega?
Dice que llega hasta las 6.
No, this is 7. So it starts with...
Es en el nuevo, entonces tendría que comprar el otro.
Sí, si lo quieren comprar, pues ya es contactarse directamente con Philip, porque pues si nosotros no tenemos los libros, ¿no? Entonces ya él es el que les puede dar información. Yes, this is from the workbook. Okay, so can I erase the answers now? Can I? Should I? Okay. Next. So that was the comparative one. Now we're gonna go and work with the vocabulary from the first unit. And the vocabulary in the first unit was about travel. It was traveling. It was of traveling. I don't know if you remember. It was what was the topic? Let me wait. Give me a second. Never mind, I don't have the physical book. No tengo el libro. Entonces, it was about traveling. There were 3 different destinations, I guess. So it was just vocabulary of traveling. And it says in here, rewrite the sentences using the words in the box. There are 2 extra words. What does this mean? The 2 of these words, we're not gonna use them. So we're gonna be reading the vocabulary we have in this chart, and then we're gonna be discussing their meanings and according to the sentence, where to place these words, okay? So the first one is empty. What does this mean? If something is full, for example, I don't know, a cup that is full or empty, it means that it has nothing. Vacío, right?
Okay.
Noisy, a lot of noise, very common here in online lessons. Cheap, it means that it's you don't need that much money, like little. Boring is the opposite of fun. Uncomfortable, the opposite of comfortable, incómodo. Slow, lento, expensive, the opposite of cheap. Quiet, the opposite of noisy. Fast, the opposite of slow. Comfortable, the opposite of uncomfortable. Crowded, the opposite of empty if we're talking about people or places. And interesting is the opposite of boring too. Do you have a question about the meaning of some of these words? No? Okay. Now let's go to the exercise. And number 1 says, there were no visitors in the museum. So if there were no visitors, it means that the museum was empty. Let's go to number 2. We're gonna do this together. You don't need to write it, okay? Unless you consider you need to practice this vocabulary, feel free to do it. But this exercise, you don't need to write it, okay? No need to write it. Number 2, who hasn't participated? Let me see. Joanna. Hi, Wilfrido. Okay, ya que te tengo aquí, Wilfrido, help me with number 2.
¿La leo o le digo la pura?
Just first read it, please.
Okay. This bed very hard. I can relax on it.
Okay, so what do you think is the word that best fits this sentence?
Uncomfortable.
Very good, uncomfortable. I'm gonna take it from here and write it. Okay. Okay, number 3, Joanna, can you read it, please?
Yes. The train traveled at ¿cómo se dice?
102.
102, miles an hour.
Okay, so 102 miles an hour, it means, I don't know about miles. 102 miles, how many kilometers are? Let me check. 164 kilometers. So then it's fast. Yeah, it's because we also had a slow, so I didn't know if it was a slow or fast, but yes, the train is very fast. Good. Okay, thank you. Number 4, let me see if someone in here. Cristina, number 4, please. Can you read it?
There were a lot of people on the beach. The beach was mm,
A lot of people. A lot of people. What is a word that is basically the same as a lot of people?
expensive.
Expensive is a lot of money. Try again.
Pues no sé. A ver.
Read. Check the words. What do you think?
Crowded.
Crowded. Ding, ding, ding. Very good. Okay, so the beach was crowded. Okay, number 5. But I don't have the rest of it. Okay, never mind. Number 5, Evelyn.
Number 5. Okay. The book's good and has a lot of useful information.
So the book is?
Interesting.
Very good. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, good. Number 6. Let me see. Well, I think Karime. Help me please, Karime, with number 6.
The hotel is perfect. No cars on site, no children around, so I can sleep all day. The hotel is comfortable.
Comfortable, very good. Okay, number 7. Roger, please. Rogelio?
Wait.
Just read it. First read it, please.
A 7.
Uh-huh.
His car was 30,000.
35,000.
35,000. So he didn't buy it. Islam. The car was too. This is low.
We're
No.
talking about money. So if it is
Oh, yeah.
35,000, then it means that
It's expensive.
expensive. Very good. Okay, number 8. Number 8, Anthony, please. Anthony. Anthony Cabrera. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Anthony Cabrera no está. Olivia, can you help me with number 8, please?
Yes, teacher. Necesito leer la verdad primero.
Please.
I didn't like the movie. I slept for most of it. The movie was boring.
Boring. Very good. Number 9, Rene Acosta, please.
La 9.
Yes.
Dice, these jeans didn't cost a lot. These jeans were pretty expensive.
Okay.
These jeans were pretty cheap.
The opposite. Very good. Pretty cheap. Okay, number 10, Alejandro.
I can't sleep because of the party in the apartment below. The party is very noisy.
Noisy, very good. Noisy. Okay, so these are just adjectives. Now, guys, I want you to tell me, just give me the comparative form of these adjectives. Empty. What is the comparative form of empty?
Con comparativo se refiere a crowded.
No, with comparative, I mean, if I want to say that one museum was empty than the other, how do I change empty? What is the comparative form of empty?
Full.
Comparative. For example, let's go with uncomfortable. Vamos con la dos. Uncomfortable. ¿Cómo puedo decir esta cama es más incómoda que esta? Using uncomfortable.
Than.
We have to use the same adjective. We just have to change it as in the previous exercise, como en el ejercicio anterior.
More.
Entonces sería
More uncomfortable.
more uncomfortable. Very good. So what is the comparative form of empty?
Emptier.
Okay. Of fast?
Faster.
Very good. Crowded?
Is crowded or more crowded?
More crowded. Interesting?
More interesting.
Very good. Comfortable?
More comfortable.
Very good. Expensive?
More expensive.
Boring?
Is more boring or boring?
More boring. And cheap?
Cheaper.
Cheaper. Very good. And noisy?
Noisier.
Exactly. So if I ask you in the exam, what is the comparative form of slow? For example, you will have to choose. What would you have to choose?
Slower.
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 Very good. Okay, I'm about to finish the review of the first unit. This is the vocabulary, and the previous one was the grammar, the comparative. Do you have any question about this?
No question.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to erase and go to the next slide. Next, 7.2. Okay, superlatives. When we work with the comparatives, at the same time, it's very common that we also work with the superlatives. So we did it, but in different weeks. So in this week, it was the second week we worked with the superlatives. And the superlatives are similar to the comparative in grammar, similar, but different in the way that with the superlatives we're not comparing. We're just saying that the adjective I'm using is to talk about something that is a number one or is at the top of a group. O sea, está al máximo nivel de lo que sea que esté hablando, right? Y lo estoy comparando entre un grupo. Y no tanto comparando, estoy diciéndote que se sobresale entre todos, right? What is the form of the superlatives? So, cold is the coldest. What do I need? The adjective est. Nice, the nicest, the adjective est. St. Friendly, friendliest. I'm gonna drop the Y and add IEST. Friendly, the friendliest. I need the adjective IEST. Big, it is the same as with the comparative. If it is a one syllable adjective and it is consonant, vowel, consonant, so then I'm gonna double the last consonant and it will be the biggest. Boring, the most boring. Interesting, the most interesting. Good, the best. Bad, the worst. Far, the farthest, or the farthest. We're gonna use, I repeat, we're gonna use superlatives to talk about the number one thing in a group, or well, something that is at the top, right? For example, Maria's spelling is the best in the class. Note, the spelling rules for superlatives are the same as for comparatives. ¿A qué se refiere con esto? A que, por ejemplo, aplica con la de irregular adjectives, a de que si es un two-syllable adjective, entonces voy a usar the most antes del adjetivo. Y si es one-syllable adjective, consonant, vowel, consonant, I'm gonna double the last consonant and add est, right? O sea, aquí no es con er, es con est. Y ojo, siempre, siempre, forever, 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 you have to use the before the adjective. The coldest, the nicest, the friendliest, the biggest, etc., etc. Entonces, los superlativos, a diferencia de los comparativos, es que el superlative me indica pues que ya es al tope, right? No hay algo mejor de lo que estoy hablando o algo más de lo que estoy hablando en la categoría que te estoy hablando. En the comparatives, pues es literalmente comparar una cosa con lo otro. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, let's go and practice then. I'm sorry. So here we have three little paragraphs, 3 small paragraphs, and these are the paragraphs we're gonna use for the exercise. And it says in here, the luxury weekend, mountain adventure, and family fun. Antes de ir con el ejercicio, por cuestión de que ya nos quedan nada más 3 minutos, voy a tomar asistencia y luego vamos a volver para trabajar con with this topic, ¿ok? So give me a minute so I can open the list and take the attendance. Okay, Acosta Navarro.
I'm here.
Andalón Insunza.
Here.
Ángulo Espinosa.
Here.
Cabrera Caño. Carriedo Fler. Cedillo Ibarra. Escarrega Alcántar.
Here.
Espinosa Podaca.
Here.
Juárez Romero.
Here.
Llano Medina.
Here.
Lucero Romero. Magaña Burgueño.
Here.
Meras Robles.
Here.
Montaño Morales.
I'm here.
Noriega Torres.
Here.
Pacheco Ontiveros. Romero Fierros. Sala Cervantes.
Present.
Sánchez Archuleta.
Present.
Tequida Vega.
Here.
Velarde Gutiérrez. Okay. Well, guys, I'll see you in a minute, okay? I'm gonna finish the session and then you have to enter again.